Know this before you walk into your next big change. Someone's going to throw a fit. Now, not everyone, and probably not even most people, but someone, and maybe even more than one someone, is going to push back. And if you're not ready for it, the chance is that you either fold or you end up digging in so fast you miss hearing something that you should be listening to. Both of these are mistakes. Today, let's talk about how to lead through it. And let's start with a little history. 1985, Coca-Cola did blind taste testing and found out that more people preferred Pepsi. So they changed their recipe. And the backlash was so loud and happened so quickly that within 77 days, they pulled new Coke off the shelves and brought back the original recipe. Good call? Absolutely. The product mattered, so did the relationship with the customer. The feedback informed their own miscalculation and they adjusted course. Now, let's move ahead a few years. 1998. Apple removes the floppy drive from the iMac. Now, this is an unthinkable move at the time. Loyal customers complained, the industry was laughing at them, and Apple didn't budge because they had an understanding of where data transfer was going, and the floppy disk wasn't a part of it. Both of these situations had serious pushback, and each one had a different right answer. And that's the whole point. Leadership ultimately is about change. And when you make a real change, you're going to get some noise. And the question isn't if you will get it. The question is, what will you do with it? Now, there are a couple of failure modes that we can slip into. The first one is to simply cave. You hear the complaints and you immediately walk the change back. Not because the objection was right, but because the noise was just too uncomfortable. You look weak and the team learns that being loud works. The second failure is to just hunker down. You hear the objections and shut down. You stop listening altogether and you end up making a not great situation worse. The most effective leaders do neither. What they do differently happens before the change rolls out. They work through the likely objections first. They ask, who's going to push back? And why would they be pushing back on this? This is not because they're looking for reasons not to change. It's because we want to know, what are we walking into? When you've already asked the hard questions yourself, someone raising an objection isn't a threat. It's just expected. Then when the pushback does come, you just address it. When the comments start rolling in, what you can do is ask yourself a couple of questions. One is there something here that we actually didn't account for? Is this new data, maybe consequences or constraints that we had missed? If yes, take it in, make the adjustment. That's not weakness, that's adaptability. Another one is this just uncertainty talking? Change can be hard and people might fear the uncertainty of the unknown. That's normal. But resistance alone isn't data. If the objection is discomfort just dressed up as an argument, respectfully hold your line. The clearer you are on your purpose for the change, the easier this call becomes, which means the work starts before the announcement comes out. Know why you're doing this. Know what you're willing to learn and know what you're not willing to give up. Then, when the tantrum shows up, you're not scrambling. You're ready. Here's the thing about leading change. The leaders that fold teach their teams that the way to stop things is to object loudly. And the leaders that shut down, they risk alienating their team relationships. Those that hold steady, but listen and consider and make informed decisions, are the ones that people learn to trust. Not because they're never wrong, but because they know the difference between signal and noise. And they don't let the noise run the show. Now, go lead well. I'll see you next week.